Last year, I had a surgery with one of my best friends, Selena Gomez.
I've heard something fascinating about donating a kidney, which is that it's the only surgery that doctors do.
I gave my kidney to her. From the minute I said, of course I'll get tested.
That in theory hurts a patient.
Obviously, it was like, you're my best friend, you're my sister. Of course.
They're putting a person under and taking an organ from them because it's going to help someone else.
But I wasn't educated on kidney surgery. I felt a lot of peace throughout the whole thing, ironically. There were times that I did panic.
You find out you're a match, and on the days leading up, is there like a quiet calm coming over you? Are you considering all those things? What's going through your head?
When I found out I was a match, it wasn't the way I expected. One day, I got a phone call from Selena, a FaceTime.
I was so calm. The minute I found out we were a match, I was like, yeah, this is happening.
Wow.
And she's like, we're a match! And I'm like, yay! What? How do you know this?
Selena Gomez's wedding to Benny Blanco was supposed to be the fairy tale ending her fans had been waiting for, a celebration of love, success, and second chances. With A-list guests like Taylor Swift, Paris Hilton, and Ed Sheeran filling the elegant Montecito venue, every camera captured pure joy. But among all the famous faces and lavish moments, one absence spoke louder than any speech that night. Francia Raisa, the woman who once saved Selena's life, wasn't there. For fans who remember their tearful story of friendship and sacrifice, it felt almost impossible to believe. How could the woman who literally gave Selena a kidney not be part of her wedding day? What happened between them that led to such a painful distance? As rumors swirl and subtle interviews drop hints, the truth about Selena and Francia's complicated friendship is starting to come into focus. A story filled with loyalty, gratitude, silence, and maybe even heartbreak. But before we uncover the real reason behind Francia's absence, let's look back at how this once-inseparable sisterhood began. It all started back in 2007, long before Selena Gomez became one of the most recognizable faces in the world. At the time, she was a rising Disney star starring in Wizards of Waverly Place, while Francia Raisa was making her mark on the secret life of the American teenager. The two met during a charity event organized by Disney and quickly formed a bond that felt more like family than friendship. Both were navigating early fame, personal struggles, and the pressures of growing up in the public eye, so finding someone who truly understood that world was rare. Francia became a steady presence in Selena's life, the kind of friend who didn't care about fame or headlines, just about the person behind it all. They shared birthdays, girls' nights, and late-night heart-to-hearts that cemented their connection. Over the years, they called each other sisters, often appearing in interviews and photos together, radiating pure love and support. What made their friendship even more special was how grounded it felt. In an industry full of competition and backstabbing, they seemed immune to Hollywood's toxicity. Fans loved seeing their genuine connection, believing that this was one of those rare friendships that would last a lifetime. But as time went on, life had a way of testing that loyalty in ways no one could have expected. What happened next would transform their bond forever and thrust it into the center of one of Hollywood's most emotional stories. By 2017, Selena Gomez's world came crashing down when her lupus, an autoimmune disease she had battled quietly for years, took a dangerous turn. Her kidneys were failing, and her doctors warned her that without a transplant, her life was at risk. In what would become one of the most selfless gestures in Hollywood history, Francia Raisa didn't hesitate. When tests revealed she was a perfect match, she stepped up, offering to donate one of her kidneys to save Selena's life. The surgery was intense and emotional, with both women facing serious health risks. Afterward, Selena shared her gratitude in a heartfelt Instagram post, calling Francia her beautiful friend, who gave her the ultimate gift and sacrifice. The public was moved to tears. Photos of them holding hands in hospital gowns went viral overnight. For a while, they were celebrated as symbols of loyalty and love, proving that true friendship still existed in an industry built on ego and image. But beneath that heartwarming story, subtle signs of strain began to emerge. The world saw the smiles and thank yous, but behind the scenes, both women were dealing with new pressures, emotional, physical, and personal, that would quietly test the bond they once thought could never break. As the months passed after the transplant, whispers began to circulate that Selena and Francia's once unbreakable friendship was showing cracks. Fans who had celebrated their bond started noticing something had changed. Fewer photos together, fewer public mentions, and subtle hints of distance. Reports surfaced that Francia was disappointed with Selena's post-surgery lifestyle, claiming the singer wasn't following strict health guidelines the doctors had advised. Whether true or exaggerated by tabloids, those rumors created a cloud of speculation around their friendship. Then came 2022, when Selena casually mentioned in an interview that "Taylor Swift is my only friend in the industry," a line that instantly went viral and was widely interpreted as a dig at Francia. Within hours, fans noticed that Francia had unfollowed Selena on Instagram and even commented "interesting" on a post quoting Selena's remark before deleting it. The internet went into full meltdown mode, dissecting every photo, like, and comment for signs of drama. It wasn't just a simple unfollow, it felt like the end of an era. The two women who had once symbolized pure sisterhood were now being portrayed as estranged, and neither was publicly clarifying what went wrong. The silence only fueled the mystery further, leaving fans wondering whether their friendship had been damaged beyond repair, or if there was still hope for reconciliation behind the scenes. Then came the interview that reignited everything. Just days before Selena's wedding, Francia Raisa sat down with Univision's Primer Impacto and, for the first time in months, broke her silence about her friendship with Selena. Her words were calm, but layered with meaning. "I know she's getting married," Francia said with a polite smile, "and I'm very happy for her." But it was what she didn't say that caught everyone's attention. She never mentioned being invited, never hinted at attending, and her tone carried a quiet distance that fans couldn't ignore. When asked about her decision to donate a kidney years ago, Francia explained it with striking clarity. "The doctors told me it's a donation," she said. "If you donate to St. Jude or anywhere else, you don't call and ask what they're doing with your dollar." That comment hit differently. It sounded like closure, like she had made peace with the sacrifice and moved on, regardless of what came next. She even mentioned that Selena was already a billionaire, and that she was simply grateful she could do that for her. A remark many interpreted as bittersweet, maybe even slightly detached. There was no anger in her voice, just acceptance, the kind that comes when someone realizes they can't control the outcome of a bond, no matter how deep it once ran. And while Francia made it clear she didn't harbor resentment, her absence from Selena's guest list suddenly made perfect sense. Sometimes silence says more than any statement ever could. When September 27th arrived, Montecito transformed into a celebrity paradise for Selena Gomez and Benny Blanco's lavish wedding. The guest list looked like the who's who of Hollywood: Taylor Swift, Martin Short, Steve Martin, Paris Hilton, Camila Cabello, Zoe Saldana, and Ed Sheeran all gathered to celebrate the couple's big day. The air was filled with laughter, music, and luxury, perfectly reflecting the new chapter Selena was stepping into. But amidst the sparkle and A-list glamour, fans noticed something missing. Or, rather, someone. Francia Raisa, the woman whose kidney made that day possible, was nowhere to be found. As soon as photos from the wedding flooded social media, the questions came pouring in. Where's Francia? Did Selena really not invite her? What happened to their friendship? Neither Selena nor Francia addressed the absence, but it was impossible to ignore. The woman once called a sister wasn't in a single photo, not even mentioned in passing. Online discussions exploded, with fans speculating that Selena's inner circle had shifted, now revolving around her closest friend, Taylor Swift. Others suggested the two women simply grew apart, their bond weighed down by fame, gratitude, and time. Whatever the reason, Francia's empty seat at Selena's wedding became the loudest statement of the night, proof that some wounds, even after healing, leave quiet scars that never fully fade. Francia Raisa finally decided to speak her truth, but she did it in her own quiet way. In her interview, she didn't lash out or try to reignite drama. Instead, she calmly addressed the growing noise surrounding her friendship with Selena Gomez. She called the constant speculation nonsense, clarifying that most of what people read online was completely off base. Francia said, "There are too many rumors. I've never said anything. When that rumor came out that I had gotten angry because she was smoking, I wasn't even aware of it." Her words revealed both frustration and exhaustion, the kind that comes from watching strangers twist your story for years. When pressed about her relationship with Selena, she gave a carefully worded answer that left everyone hanging. "No one knows what's going on between us. One day, maybe we will address it." It was a statement both firm and mysterious, one that hinted at deeper emotions left unsaid. Fans couldn't help but notice how composed she was. as if she'd already accepted that not every friendship can return to what it once was. Francia's tone wasn't bitter, but it wasn't nostalgic either. It was the sound of someone who had made peace with the distance, yet still carried unspoken love beneath the surface. And while she may not have attended the wedding, her words made one thing clear. The story of her and Selena isn't about betrayal or fame, but about two lives that simply grew apart in the spotlight. After years of rumors, reconciliations, and distance, Selena Gomez and Francia Raisa's friendship has become one of Hollywood's most emotionally complex relationships. In late 2023, Francia hinted during an interview that they had recently reconnected, saying they weren't in a great place, but needed time apart to heal. Around that time, paparazzi photos captured them out together again, smiling, laughing, and even grabbing dinner in Los Angeles. Fans thought it was the comeback everyone had been waiting for, a full circle moment between two women who had shared life and pain in the most literal way. For a brief moment, it seemed like the storm had passed. But when Selena's wedding came and went without Francia in sight, the silence felt like confirmation that their reconciliation might have been short-lived. Maybe they had tried, maybe they had talked, but something clearly hadn't healed completely. Some insiders suggested that while the two respect each other deeply, their lives have grown too far apart. Selena surrounded by global fame, billion-dollar ventures, and her close-knit circle of celebrity friends, while Francia continues her quieter path, focused on acting and advocacy. Still, the emotional connection between them hasn't vanished entirely. Francia has said she's grateful for having saved a life, and Selena has never spoken negatively about her. What remains is a bittersweet truth. Sometimes the strongest friendships can survive tragedy, but crumble under time, fame, and unspoken emotions. And while the world may never know what happened behind closed doors, one thing is certain: their story isn't about enemies, but about two women learning to let go while still holding respect for what they once had. What makes the silence between Selena Gomez and Francia Raisa so fascinating is that it says more than any public statement ever could. In a world where celebrities rush to clear their names or control their image, both women have chosen to stay quiet, letting their actions and absences speak for them. Francia continues to live a grounded, low-key life, focusing on acting, philanthropy, and mental health advocacy. Selena, meanwhile, has evolved into a global icon, juggling music, film, and her beauty empire, Rare Beauty, while also speaking candidly about mental health and healing. Their paths couldn't look more different, yet they remain connected by one extraordinary act that will forever link them. Fans still hold on to hope that someday the two might reconnect, not because of pressure or nostalgia, but because of genuine understanding. After all, the love that once existed doesn't just vanish, it changes form, becoming quieter, more distant, but still present. Maybe their story isn't about a dramatic fallout, but about the natural evolution of two lives that simply grew apart. Sometimes, the truest form of peace isn't found in grand reconciliations or Instagram posts. It's found in silence, acceptance, and the quiet acknowledgement that even broken bonds can still hold gratitude. In the end, the story of Selena Gomez and Francia Raisa isn't about drama, betrayal, or fame. It's about two women who shared something sacred and paid the emotional price that came with it. Francia gave Selena the ultimate gift, a second chance at life. For a moment, they were the perfect image of selflessness and friendship, the kind of connection fans dream about. But real life isn't a movie, and sometimes even the deepest gratitude can't stop people from drifting apart. Their journey, from best friends to distant souls, reminds us that even love and sacrifice can't always preserve what time and circumstance quietly change. Neither woman owes the world an explanation, because the truth between them belongs only to them. Still, it's hard not to feel a pang of sadness knowing that a bond once hailed as unbreakable may now exist only in memories. Francia gave Selena her kidney, and in doing so, she gave her more time, more music, and more life. Yet, perhaps in that act, their friendship reached its highest point, one that could never truly be matched again. And maybe that's okay. Some relationships aren't meant to last forever. They're meant to change us, to save us, and to teach us what love looks like when words fall short.